SolGold originated in Solomon Islands in 1997, and our predecessor, Western Pacific Gold, was involved in the exploration for porphyry copper gold projects on the main island of Guadalcanal. We found the geology to be very, very complex. You've got two oceanic plates subducting from the Australian side and the Pacific side very fast, melting quickly, not oxidised, so no great concentration of copper and gold in them, very low grades, a difficult regulatory environment as a result of an unsophisticated mining regime, and a very difficult physical environment that was characterised by rainfall that would come at you in metres per day and landslides that were sometimes up to 5 or 10 million tonnes in one time, roaring down creeks and wiping everything out, including camps and drilling rigs. So very difficult for us, and we learnt a lot about remote area operations, dealing with difficult community access problems, and learnt about what sort of geology we were needing, and we therefore honed our skills and decided that we wanted to find a tier 1 copper gold project that had a huge multiplier effect. So that means that once you unravel the geology of these things, they tend to be very, very big, and you can put together a very large resource inventory very, very quickly. Since we did our deal on the Cascabel tenement, we have been working for about 3.5 years. We've spent $35 million US, covering 50 square kilometres of ground with detailed airborne magnetics. We followed that up with about 30 square kilometres of detailed soil sampling and rock chip mapping and sampling, lots of three-dimensional modelling. We've identified 14 different targets. We've drilled just one of these targets and put 23,700 metres of drilling into it, all core holes, all with a man-portable rig. None of it's been moved by helicopter, and that's been across 18 holes. Of those 18 holes, an unprecedented 16 of them have hit the deposit. That's an extraordinarily high hit rate for any initial drilling program. And of those 16, 4 of them have had intersections that are over 1 kilometre in length at grades that will almost certainly be economic, around 0.7 or 0.8 of a gram of gold per tonne and 0.7 to 0.8% copper per tonne. So it's very rich ore, it's very big, very extensive, and Alpala, the drilled target, is only one of 14 different targets, and this presents us with a cluster of porphyry copper gold targets, much the same as the giant Chuquicamata system in Chile. Yeah, Alpala is something that we believe will turn into a tier 1 project by itself. A tier 1 project is something that can transcend metals price cycles. It's rich enough to always be profitable, and it's intergenerational in terms of its mine life. So we can see this emerging at Alpala, let alone any of the other 14 targets that we have already outlined and are getting ready for drilling at Cascabel. We believe that the deep mineralisation that we're encountering at Alpala is indicative of a very great vertical extent in an ore body at Alpala, and we believe that that would also hold at Aguanaga and hopefully Moran as well. These things do outcrop at surface, but we have encountered them as deep as 1,840 metres in one of the drill holes. I think it was hole 9 in Alpala. So it's vertically very extensive, but interestingly, the grades are getting richer and it's getting wider as we go down. And that suggests to us that we have to look deeper. That's why we've got some big track-mounted rigs coming in to test it down as far as 2.5 kilometres below surface. But the importance of this economically is that the recently developed block cave mining technique can be used to access these ore bodies very cost effectively from underground. So we would envisage a long 6-kilometre long twin straight decline tunnel from San Pedro village that would go in underneath the Alpala ore body, probably access Aguanaga and Moran on the way with side cuts, and you'd find yourself with about 1,800 metres of ore body above you at Alpala. Now, the beauty of a block cave technique, as Newcrest knows, and this is again why they're so interested in SolGold, is that block caving is effectively a bulk underground open cut mining technique, but it's upside down and you're using gravity as the mining technique. Now, gravity's free to use, and the advantage with block caving is that you don't have a lot of waste disposal, thereby meaning that you have lower environmental and social disturbance problems that you might otherwise encounter with an open cut mine. So it's very cost effective. It does require a bit more capital, but for a very large project such as the one that we're going to be looking at Alpala, this is absorbed. We've got $44 million US in the bank at the moment. That is to be spent on drilling programs with up to 10 rigs over the next 2 years. We will be drilling up to 95,000 metres with those rigs, and we will be concentrating on expanding Alpala. We've deferred a resource study on Alpala because we just simply haven't done enough drilling to get anywhere near defining the limits of the Alpala system, so it's going to be very much bigger before we do a resource study on it. And the other drilling rigs there will be going out testing the other projects that we have brought up to drill ready status at Alpala Southeast, Aguanaga, Moran, Trevino, Tandayama, America, and some of the other prospects in the area. So it's a very exciting time and a very intense time. We have started drilling the first 3 of those holes that are planned over the next 1 to 2 years. The 95,000 metres of drilling that we have planned with 10 rigs will be using 2 drilling contractors. Major Drilling has heavy track mounted rigs that will come in on the new road that the government's constructed for us, so that means more freight in, more samples out, and quicker holes to deep depths. We will be drilling directional drill holes off some of the mother holes that go in with the big rigs, and that will enable us to have the drill bit in ore more frequently, thus providing more assay results quicker to the market.